Shalom, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Salakia, double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Osh from the Great Millstone Miami Camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect. This lesson is going to be a few words on this new teaser trailer of an upcoming film titled Him. Okay? And this is a Marlon Wayans movie. As you can see him on the left, he plays in the movie, but I believe he also has something to do with its writing, which we know he's also a writer. You know, he wrote certain movies, especially comedies. That's really what he's known for, doing movies. You know, the scary movie series. You know, he wrote that. Him and Sean Wayans, which we know the Wayans family. Okay, we should all be very familiar with their faces, their big faces in Hollywood, especially among the so-called black community. Okay, but he has this new film coming out, Him, which is blatant occultism, is blatant witchcraft in your face, showing you how the world really works behind the scenes. How you really become successful in this world is by tapping into the left hand, and they show you that clearly in this trailer. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this movie coming out. And I like going into this topic and studying this topic a lot, because this shows you how the world really works. This shows you what's really going on. Okay? In order to succeed, you have to bow down to the spiritual demon Satan. You have to take part in different occult rituals. You have to sell your soul. That's how you really become rich and famous. That's how you gain fame and fortune in this kingdom, because this is Esau's kingdom. This is Satan's kingdom. This world, as the scriptures say in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So that with that goes the gold, the silver, the influence, the power. To truly gain these things in the world, you got to sell out. And it's funny that you got this guy Marlon Wayans doing this, because I've been referencing the Wayans family a couple times in the past recently. Okay, I did a video a couple months ago going into this song called Sinking Boat. I forget the band, but it's a family band of Jakes that sing that song, Sinking Boat, which is a catchy song. But when you actually read the lyrics, they're talking about the destruction of America, really. They're really singing about the destruction of this current age. They're singing about the end of the world. And I'm looking into the eyes of the family members, the band, and I can clearly see that they are practicing witches and warlocks. You know, the eyes never lie, Chico. Alright, as the scriptures say, these type of things corrupt your soul when you engage in these practices. And when someone's soul is corrupted, you look into the eyes, it's a dead giveaway. They can't hide it. And in that video that I did on that family, on that song, I spoke about how you have witchcraft families. Of course, among Esau, but among Jake as well, where the whole family is engaged in left-hand practices. And the souls that the Lord chooses to be born within those families are given over to that stuff from birth. And it's in their DNA, it's in their blood. So their vessels are fit. they're formed and fit to engage in those type of things. And I mentioned the Wayans family. Okay, I used them as an example. All right, I spoke about how you have, these witchcraft families among Jake, but are very talented. Okay, you got the Jackson family come to mind. The Wayans family comes to mind. I mentioned the Wayans family. And it's funny because very recently you had this guy Marlon and his brother Damon. They separately both did these Club Shay Shay interviews with this this big freak Shannon Sharp, which we see, him and his different humiliation rituals that he's taking part in. Right? He's totally sold out. But you had Marlon do an interview. And he was talking about the different movies. He didn't really go into detail, but he was talking about different movies that he has in the works. And I'm just watching it, and I clearly see this dude really loves the fame. He really loves the fame. And I could clearly see he'll do anything to stay famous and in the limelight. Which, of course, he's taking part in the rituals. He's initiated. They all initiated. Keenan, Damon, Marlon, Sean. Okay, get it straight. You're not getting on the big screen, not even the little screen, and recurring television shows and having your own shows without being initiated. Okay? And then you had this big brother Damon do one. And even in the intro, you can see them, they're showing the different pictures and doing different occult hand gestures. But Damon, he even said on the show that their father was against them doing the whole Hollywood thing because he said it's gay shit. The father said that's some gay shit. He said his father was very religious and his father was against that. But their oldest brother, Keenan, basically said F what dad is talking about, and he overstepped their dad and basically initiated his younger brothers into Hollywood. So their big brother was rebellious, and the rest of the brothers followed suit. And then he spoke about them getting on In Living Color and the different stars that came out of In Living Color, like Jim Carrey, J-Lo, okay, and so forth and so on. But and he also even in the show, even in the Club Shay Shay interview, Damon mentioned that none of their brothers really are into the limelight, into the spotlight, but Marlon is. He said Marlon loves attention. And you can clearly see that. But in the Marlon interview, he spoke about how he has horror films coming out, which this is a horror film. And I'm just gonna play a couple. And again, these families are talented because our people are the talented people. They use that God-given talent for the left hand, because talent runs in your DNA. Okay. All right, performance, theater, drama. Okay, that's something that spirit is something that can be in your DNA. Okay, along with music, creativity in general. You have most times if you get two people that's very creative, very artistic, they have children. Children are going to naturally come out gifted. Okay? And if they deal with the left hand as a family, you're going to see them all over the TV. All right? But again, Universal, this is not intended to be used for financial gain. This is just, I'm just showing different parts, which I'm not going to play any audio. I'm not going to play any motion of the picture. I'm just going to show a few stills that clearly show you, you watch, you brothers out there, watch this trailer. This shit is, it's showing that we are clearly at the end. And when you really study Esau and the things, his methods of doing certain things, and actually study his agenda, once you get deep enough, you'll find out that Esau wants a lot of the things that he does in the dark to come out. He understands the science behind predictive programming. Okay, he also understands the spiritual aspect of allowing certain things to come out and be shown, which gives him what he believes is a pass. Right? They show a lot of the wickedness that they do in these movies, and people write it off as entertainment, but these are things they're actually engaged in. So they're like, well, shit, in their mind, wicked, twisted mind, they're like, well, we showed you. If you still fall for it, then that's on you. Which, I can get that. But that doesn't absolve this devil from judgment. Okay? So check this out. Which is more to this title. Right? So you see, it's starting off like a regular movie, like everything's cool, then it goes left, right? Which in the trailer you have Marlon. He's basically like training this new guy, this rookie, and he's showing him what he must do. And he said, so you got Jordan Peele, which he told Juice then, right? Producing it. But his character, Marlon character right here, is asking him, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to the top? And right after that, you see, damn it, there you go. You see that? And when you watch the trailer, that's supposed to be like a spirit following him around. So that's what appears to be like Baphomet or Pan, some horn demon following them, right? And then you see them out in the desert performing rituals. Was that's the desert out there in the outskirts of LA, out there in Cali. They perform a lot of rituals out there. All right. Let's see if I can keep going. And see this bloody shit, right? But see, look, they got the Diddy parties in it. But this trailer shows a lot, right? Look at that. It's supposed to be some type of demon. And you see right here, Marlon is doing the shush, which that's the Masonic hand gesture, which is the vow of secrecy. I'm trying to get it at the right spot without playing the actual shit. Bear with me. But you see it. Tim doing the shush, right? The oath of secrecy, showing you he's initiated. Alright? So they're not gonna come out and tell you that the things they've done to get to where they are. But they put it in movies and they put it right in your face. You see that? Look at that. And then they got the letter spelling out him. So I guess this is supposed to be where, after he actually goes through the rituals and becomes him, right? And you see him standing on a heartogram, or some type of satanic symbol, which obviously you see the pentagram, right? But the movie is called Him, right? Now I learned through reading comments. I'm big on reading comments, right? Yeah, somebody commented and said, "I'm making the call right now. The title Him is an acronym for His Infernal Majesty." And of course I went into the thread, and it says, at the bottom, it says, the last comment says, "I mean the heartogram is on the ground at the end shot of the trailer." So I did a Google on what a heartogram is. Here's the overview of heartogram, and it says the heartogram is a symbol created by Ville Valo, lead singer of the Finnish band Him, and represents the juxtaposition of love and death, or the balance between soft and hard, yin and yang, which is inversion. Okay, good is evil, evil is good. Duality. That's a big spirituality within the left hand. Blurring of the lines, merging of the two sides, which the Most High don't deal with that. He controls good and evil, and he keeps it separate. Good is good and evil is evil. You're supposed to love the good and hate the evil. Okay, but continues on to say the symbol gained popularity through Him and has been adopted by other artists like Bam Margera. Right? If you watch Jackass, you see Bam Margera. He had that tattooed. Steve-O had it tattooed, but with a dick. Okay, it says, and Playboy Cardi, which we know what Playboy Cardi is all about. Total sellout. Okay. Then I did a search on His Infernal Majesty, and this is the band, a rock band, which we know what rock music is all about. You can look in their eyes and see they're total Satanists. Okay. See this guy right here, he got Satan on his chest. Okay, so when they say His Infernal Majesty, look. Okay, they telling you straight up what this is. So when they say His Infernal Majesty, they're talking about Satan. Right? Infernal meaning like on fire. So this is another way that Esau, takes certain words and charge them up on the left-hand side and get people to call themselves, like you got people saying, I'm him. Like that's kind of a new thing coming out. Oh, that guy, he's him. To mean like somebody that's really good at what they do, or the best at what they do. Another term which people been saying longer is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Okay, which we know that the GOAT is Baphomet, right? You even had that wicked demon Kirk Franklin at the BET Awards, which I don't watch no damn BET Awards, but I saw the clip. This demon said he was supposedly rapping. This nigga said the lion and the lamb will bow down to the goat. So the goat, what the goat represents. Which you see the goat. You see the goat right there. Okay. So that's a part of Esau's witchcraft. They get people to say certain things and put certain titles on themselves, and it's totally demonic. So you putting curses on yourself, especially when you don't have the truth of the scriptures. The Spirit of the Lord ain't dealing with you. So these things have a influence on you. They have a effect. So people gonna watch this movie and listen to these songs and stuff and don't know what the hell is going on, even though they putting it right in your face. right in your face. So this shows you that Esau is very content in his mind, in a sense, to think that people, he's like, these people are so low level, they so dumbed down, I could push stuff like this and it's gonna go right over their head. And he's true. The average people, the masses, they'll watch shit like this and say it's just a joke, right? But this is how you get your Tom Brady's. This is how you get your Patrick Mahomes. Okay? This is how you get your all-star MVPs and these superstars. And they just using football as an example, but this goes for basketball. This goes for all the sports. Right? This goes for music. This goes for the art world. These people are influenced by left-hand spirits. And they participate in left-hand rituals to get to the next level. Or that top level. Okay? So, I find all this interesting. Showing you exactly what's going on in the world. Okay? Which the scriptures say what? This is... Just get to the point. It's the book of Psalm 64. And verse... Let me just read... I'm going to read it and jump down. This is Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay, this is a prayer of David. He's asking the Lord to protect him from the secret counsel of the wicked. What's the secret counsel of the wicked? These high-level elite on the left-hand side that engage in left-hand practices, that do witchcraft. And not only they do it themselves, but they push it out using their media, using movies and songs that they control, that they manipulate, that they give contracts, demonic pacts and covenants to our people in exchange for fame and fortune, but they lose their soul. They become total slaves to the devil. And they can't even enjoy the fame and fortune because they lost the essence of what makes them them. Okay. Jump down to verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay. So they're making their own tongue to fall upon themselves. This is what they call soft disclosure. Right? Because when you really get into Esau's agenda, you find out they want to make everybody a damn warlock. Okay? They want to make everybody into a witch, a practicing witch. So they're basically initiating everybody on a subtle level. And you see that. That's why the scriptures say wickedness has reached the heavens, roughly paraphrasing. Every year, the average person becomes more and more of a demon. Because whether they know it or not, they're being influenced by witchcraft. It's what they call the boil the frog method. The average person is that frog in the water being slowly boiled. Because we know ultimately Esau wants to have everyone partake in the covenant of his beast system, of the mark of the beast, which is that charagma. So he's slowly making everybody more and more wicked, and then he's gonna hit them with that charagma. He's gonna put his name on them. And how he's gonna do that with that technology. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's more precepts I can get out. But I believe the point is made. That's all I really wanted to say. If any brothers have any precepts, Baba Shah, post them. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until the next one, Shalom.